I guess they knew I was coming heavy hitting with truth, with biblical truth and understanding. You know, this ain't something that you can assume. You need confirmation when it comes to something like this. So, you know, this is serious enough to pull out the computer. And you know what? Today I wanted to get up. This was my plan yesterday for today, to get up and gather up the courage to go out in the community and see if I could videotape myself dyeing somebody's locks that had dark hair. You know what I mean? So that way to see what that blonde really looked like, right? That was my plan. Then the earth stopped spin. Well, the core was announced to have stopped. So I'm sure that happened a while ago. Um, or they wouldn't be telling us. That's the way they do their steps. You know, it happened already. And now they're telling us. That must be because another step is about to happen. But I was sitting here petitioning God for understanding. Because, like I said, like, how do you make hair dye? You know, it's hard to do. You get what I'm saying? I love my invention. I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna get out there and make it happen. But at the same point, guys, I'm here for the 11th hour worker. And when it comes to God, like, I'm here for that person. That's the reason why God gave me this channel. That's the reason why I've forsaken all and ran after him. Yep, it's the truth. So, and no, I don't want any glory. Nope, not at all. Know this. I want to be an angel, so I'm going to yell at you right now, and we can't even be friends if you try to glorify me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it won't even work. So, you know, the adversary couldn't lie to me there. This is about getting to the bottom of it. This is about being allowed and taught to have children in this world, in this season. You get what I'm saying? If what we're saying is true, that means they knew. And that also means that we're having children in this season. Like, if they would have gave us a heads up, we probably wouldn't have had so many kids. You know what I mean? Because that's what's got me afraid. That's what's got me on the, well, I won't, yeah, afraid. Got me on the hunt for truth is, how do I protect the children, the vulnerable, my family members that might be vulnerable. Like, that's because I know we were fed a line of BS about a lot of the other stuff that has occurred in the world and who we were supposed to be within it. All right, so I got my computer up because we're going to have to read the Bible. We're going to have to do some we're going to have to read some different uh, translations. So we're gonna have to read the Bible. That's what we're doing today. We're about to read this Bible and get down to, girl, I've been waiting on you to come on up on here. How far off is the watch? I need to know. How far off is the watch? My friend had a watch that was a special kind of watch that reacted to a special kind of way. And I need to know, given what God has been showing me, girl, what God has been, I'm about to show it all. I'm about to show the mechanics behind the mysteries of God. It's about to get real, and it's about to get real. Like, it's going to be undeniable when I'm done on what's happening, how it's happening, how the Bible said it was going to happen. I got, like, all my books. I even pulled out the computer, so you know it's about to be real. I've been sitting here. Where is my the paper? And God gave me so many timeline understandings, you know? And I know that finding out how many, I remember you put it somewhere. I'll go find it. I understand if you can't put it there right now. because everybody ain't as crazy as me, but I just feel like, could, you know what I mean? This, now I see why he said, your governor won't tell you about that day. Like, he said it real facetiously in one of these books. Like, ask your governor. Like, he won't tell you about the, it was a particular day. And that's how I found out a lot of this information, was researching what that day was. I hope it comes up in the process. But, oh, and I also pulled out the Bible that led us to marrying, 3 hours and 26 minutes. Mm, mm, mm. Girl, 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 girl. Luke said he stood there for from the 6th hour to about the 9th hour, which was exactly 3 hours. Then you take me to the 26 minutes. Oh my God. Y'all who don't know, who haven't been here, 26 is a big number here, because that's when God gave me a dream. He gave me a dream, and I was in a war room. Let me tell y'all that dream. Let's stay here, and let me see what my sister said first. Me and Sister Bridget thinks 4 hours is pivotal. 26 is a day. February 26th, if that is your birthday, praise God, happy birthday. But that's also Moses' birthday. It shows why you're so strong. Like, if you are of the cloth of Moses, yeah, if you of the cloth of, like, that concept, like he was born and died on that day. That's a very special day. But this year, that day is called Andar 7. So it's really February 28th this year. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. And you know, God showed me count 15 days after the 26th, which land on daylight savings. And if this here thing is true that they said, wouldn't daylight savings be messed up in some kind of way? I mean, I'm lightweight angry. I have to admit I am. I'm lightweight angry, because how did that happen? That now you're telling people it stopped and is now going back the other way, but we don't believe. First off, I would have rather it stopped, because then we could have just went to a halt. But you telling me at some point it's coming back. At some point the earth is going to spin the opposite direction, because that's what you taught me as a child. And if that was the case, why you teach? If that ain't true, why you teaching children that the direction of the spin of the core of the earth is what decides the direction of the spin of the earth? Why would you teach us that and not know if it's true? So I'm angry. I'm a little angry. That's why I got my hat on and I pray, I just pray. But one of the things I see is that we don't got the time to, like, we got to come. I feel like part of the, I'm going to come back and I'm going to come see. But part of the reason why so many people won't survive is because of the fact that it's so normal. We're still paying mortgages. We're still, having to think about tomorrow. It hasn't flat out been said, but it has, though. But there's been so much media recognition to make it plausibly, maybe, kinda. But they've been saying it forever, because then, it's like they say climate change and the end of all, all that kind of stuff. But then there's another voice saying they're lying. So it's just such a unnecessary cruelty. That tells me this must be personal, because you didn't have to do it like that. Like why Why? Like, you could have stopped the, like, you get what I'm saying? You could have, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, just a heads up for the past 10 years, but instead they're ramping up things. And it's just heartbreaking because the Bible follows. Now, don't you know how all the different, you watch the History Channel, like, and they have all the different doomsdays, right? And you watch all of them. Like, what if the world came to an end with this? What if this? What if this? What if that? And it always makes you go, I could see, but that doesn't line up. If you, especially if you know your Bible, if you know your Bible, it doesn't, something don't line up. As soon as God opened my mind to this concept, everything went click, click, click. Now I see why they were in the wilderness. You see, I watched a documentary this morning on what it's on YouTube, so I don't see why anyone should be angry that I'm saying these things. I watched a factual documentary that what's the word? I extrapolated what would happen if the earth stopped spinning. Okay. Let me see what you're saying. Sis, hold on. You got so many things that you're saying. I would have to back up. Uh, I'm gonna have to screenshot these. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. I can't go backwards yet, babe. Um, yeah, I'm losing my train of thought now. Or this would be a really, 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 really long live. Um, oh, say the last thing I was saying, please, for me. And I'm gonna read what you were saying. Just tell me the last thing I was saying, and I try not to be noticed walking by. Oh, something happened. But tell me the last thing I was saying. It threw me off. I'm sorry. That's important. That's important. Okay. Um, yeah, I lost it. Well, let me go back to it. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just start from the beginning then, because it needs to be said. That's it, though. The fact that they really left us in the dark about all of this, to the point where when I went and read the Bible again, understanding the things I now know, oh, it's so flat out. Like, God said it. God said it everywhere. He said it. Like, we're going to have to hold ourselves accountable for the catastrophes that we're about to see, because the truth is God said it. And if we had now, even down to the point of, don't y'all know I've been calculating the dates and stuff. Now, I was horrible in math in school, to the point where I didn't even take algebra. I graduated college taking like statistics, quantitative statistics, and logic math. But I never took an algebra class. Never did. Do you know I found myself doing algebra to calculate the dates? The only reason, like, we all laugh going, there'll never be a reason you need algebra. Oh, they gave us everything we needed, but they did a good job of turning our head while they made sure they had everything they needed. Oh, it's just, it's heartbreaking. So where do I want to begin? I was about to tell y'all about a dream that I had about the 26th. And this happened in October 31st, 2020. I had a dream about, I was in a war room, a war strategy room, me and my husband. And it was so real. Like, it was like I was literally sitting at the round table with all of these individuals that were, they had jobs to do in this time. And the meeting was closing, and I said, wait, I still don't know when. Like, give me something to go after. I'll study it. I promise I'll figure it out. I'll calculate it. I'll figure it out. God, please give me something to go after. Then all of a sudden, like the NASDAQ, okay, numbers started scrolling on the wall. And I didn't get all the numbers, you know, because they scroll, stop, scroll, stop. The only number I got was the number 26. And I remember looking at it and going, 26. And then I was like, I'm taking it and waking up. At that point, I knew I was sleeping. It was time to wake up. And to the point where when I woke up out of my sleep screaming, 26. My husband was there next to me. He ain't a credible witness though, but I was about to say he knows that happened, you know. So since then, what we found out about the number 26, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. There is, what was the other 26? That Moses, that was it. That Moses was born and died on the 26th. And that this is his covenant. Like this right here is his covenant. Christ's covenant comes at the end of this, guys. That's something I've known for quite some time. It's like the culmination of Christ's covenant. But right now, Moses' covenant is in play. And if you don't know this Bible, don't know, I'm telling you, don't get me wrong, God's grace is sufficient. That is the Christ covenant. So praise God. But you better know some of the basics. That's why it's basic instruction before leaving earth. You gotta study right now. There's gonna be a final exam. So that was my dream. But let's talk about this documentary too, because that's gonna help you understand how all of this is biblical. So there was this documentary on like the History Channel or something, and it was proposing about how if the earth stopped spinning, the core of the earth stopped spinning, and how it would slowly come to a halt, right? It'll slowly come to a halt. And the reason why that was significant is because, oh no, they went through telling each type and way. I'm gonna close my eyes for a second so I can get through this. Please forgive me. But they went through going through each type and way things would happen. You get what I'm saying? So they first showed how when the earth, right, is slowing down, all of the water in the middle disperses because the gravitational pull between the moon and the core of the earth is like the spin, the whipping of it all is the reason. Okay. So it was literally like once it slowed down, the water would disperse to the poles. Okay. But the way they showed it on there, because of how slow the earth was slowing down, it was just like water rising, not a flood coming. You get what I'm saying? But in the Arctic areas, like they showed the news reports as they evacuated the Arctic because, you know, Canada was flooding and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm still talking about the documentary, right? You got to go look. There's, you know, just look up a documentary of the day the earth stood still, but a documentary, okay? Or the earth stopped spinning. So then after it went to the poles, okay, here's what I want you to know. Is that they showed fire and earthquakes popping up in like if this, I don't know if y'all know like the Cancer region of you know, the earth is divided up by zodiacs. So like a certain region fire was coming up from the ground, which makes sense if something if this is the solid core of the earth, right? We'll say it's the solid core, right? If it's spinning and then stops, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's going back the other direction, but that's the worst case scenario, is going back the other direction. But, okay, so it stops, okay? The molten outside, okay? That part is like a heater. You get what I'm saying? So it was being drawn to the center, but now that part just heats up. Now the mud floods make sense. The permafrost uh thawing out makes sense when you think of it that way. And the fact that they said it was turning this way, look, I don't know what way, but we're gonna say turning this way, and now it stopped to go back this way. So that meant all that molten that was going that way is gonna pause and heat up the ground. So now that documentary makes sense. Fire started, and my dream makes sense. Fire started coming up in like the region of America, we'll say, Yellowstone on over, right? We'll say that type of area, right? So then after that, Miami, and I'm just reviewing a video that was on YouTube, okay? So I'm not giving you, I'm just showing you how it all matches. And then now I'm going to show you, at the end, I'm going to show you how it matches the Bible. So then they said the water dispersed, creating a new continent because it went up to the poles, right? But that's where they stopped, right? Because they said there was no water. There was only, oh, let me go there. They also talked about an inhabitable zone, right? Because they said the oxygen was going to go away at high altitudes, right? But there was going to be an inhabitable zone where they were going to experience like 30 days of night. Now the 3 days of darkness makes sense. You get what I'm saying? You see how these things starting to make sense. Okay. So, and then collectively, like if the earth is spinning and it's going slowly, yeah, they experience 3 days and then them. So the whole earth would experience something like that, of a 3 day of darkness kind of deal. Now that makes sense. Okay. What else they say was going to happen? That the earth was gonna, from their scenario, the earth was going to slowly die. So it was gonna be like the movie The Road. That there was gonna be earthquakes, and there was gonna be a inhabitable zone. But it was right. Guess where the inhabitable zone was at, y'all? Listen to this. I can't make this up. Remember back with, what's the name of that thing where they showed these drastic declines in population, right? I think it was me and Jamila, or me. I know me and Faithful did it, because I had this gigantic map, and we mapped all the places that were going to have a growth, right? Because if it was, everybody talking about how the population going to decline in all them other places drastically, scarily, I want to know who got the growth, because they know something or got something we ain't got. You get what I'm saying? Guess where they at? In the inhabitable zone. Interesting. Now that makes sense. Enough. This is too much. It's too much. All of them come in culmination. We see it. Now, this occurred on one of my days of concern, that they gave this message out, okay? And they were able to see it. Go lay down. I'm not playing with y'all. We already didn't I say go lay down? We already played. I played so I ain't have to be bothered. Baby girl, get up there. We played soccer and everything. We ran around. We had a great time. Hold up. Didn't I say get up there? Go. Now lay down. Mama busy now. Okay, sorry about this. Hold on, y'all. Look, that's the black mama for you. Be in church. She done went off on the kids and then turned around like, sorry about that, y'all. Praise God. But yeah, they were in the inhabitable zone. There was more. Oh, I already told you about the mud flood. Oh, once. Now, I want you guys just to do some our own high school education stuff. Use the stuff they gave us in high school real quick, right? Let's do that. And what's that word? I can't say it, Y'all know I got an accent from somewhere, right? But I can't say it, but it's centrifugal force. You get what I'm trying to say? Centrifugal force. That word. Um, so literally that's like momentum is spinning. I told you guys that that gamma ray burst was going to make some things blink. So we see the core of our earth is what blinked, right? Remember, go back and look at the video for about 1010 and Gamaliel and all that, right? So our core blinked, okay? And now they say that it's going back the other direction. Think about the outer mantle, which is the molten lava part, right? That middle part done stopped and then changed. So what's going to happen? Layer by layer, a change is going to happen. Layer by layer, right? Because that's the way, like, if heat, like, how do I put it? It's literally like if we all went and then layer by layer, like a mirror, that is going to start changing. So there's going to be a time when it stands still, because that's how it's going to have to go. If this starts going that way, this is going that way, but it's going to stop. Then the next part of it, as it heats, it's going to stop. Then the next part, then the next part, all the way up. That's your force. or something. I think I'm saying this correctly, is that it's almost like a tug being tugged backwards. Or better yet, think about a tugboat. There we go. Though the tugboat done started going backwards, the thing been moving, like it stopped and it started going backwards, nothing's happening on the top until that drag comes. So that matches my dream and the Bible, because that means the fire's gonna come first, then the flood. The Bible says is the end is with a flood. Literally, it says it. Let's go to it. And I pulled out the Marian Bible. Let's read the Bible, y'all. We are going to Daniel chapter 9, verse 24 through 27. Now remember, I'm in the Marian Bible. There are extra verses and things in this Bible and chapters. Like Daniel got a whole extra chapter at the end. Got a chapter 13 in this book. And a 14. Got chapter 13 and 14. So maybe I should read it in my grandmama King James first so we could see the difference. Let's go with God King James first. And then we'll go to the Marian, because we know if they're... Like, see, sometimes you got to hear things from the horse's mouth. That's their book. So what they going to do? Tell themselves the closest to the truth, even though they might give us the furthest away. So know this. I'm giving you the popular furthest away, but then I'm going to take you to the closest, okay? That's my grandma Avonia's book. And let's go to Daniel. Wait, where is Daniel? Hold on. I can't find it. Oh, there you go. We're going to Daniel chapter 9. Verse 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks. That's 49 days. No. Stop me. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. I'm not going to go forward to you. I know you can hear me. I'm going to get this information out. Let me know. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I need somebody just with courage to say I can hear you. Okay. Thank you, my love. All right. So, Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the walls, even in troublous times. And this reads different when you hear and know that type of catastrophe is coming. That reads way different, don't it? You'd have to rebuild Jerusalem after a mud flood and fire coming up from the earth and all kinds of stuff. You'd have to, like, because that's what they're going to see first because of the slowing. So that is the next indicator, is some fire. That's going to be one of the next indicators, y'all. Okay. So in verse 26, it says, and after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with the flood. And the end thereof shall be with the flood. Here's what I want y'all to know. Now we're going to mechanics. We put the Bible to the side, but y'all heard what they said, right? Let's go to the mechanics of it. If the earth stops spinning and the water disperses to the ends, the permafrost is at those ends. Remember how I said that it's going to stand still at some point and just heat up the outer layer, which means that makes sense for the permafrost falling. Up there is where the permafrost would fall. Now, if it's going back the other way, this is what I want you to know. Think of a ballerina. Think of a ballerina. How does she go faster? That's how she goes faster. So that means all of that mud mantle is going to push on that thing that is now supposedly rotating in the opposite direction, which would make sense because the earth is spinning. That would go, if I want to go fast, like I just went, I'm going to turn around. If I want to go faster, I'd bring all parts of me close. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I go faster. What would happen then? Then a wave, because the other one wasn't a wave. Remember, it was just as it was slowing down, water just seeped up to those areas. But as it turns and comes together, then you get the big water being thrown back, just like the Bible says. So now the mechanics are there. Whew. Now the science is there. So now they said that we would be wandering in the wilderness. And God said, be weary of that word Calvary. Be very weary of that word, because there's a Calvary coming. And the truth is, when the word is said, no matter how many definitions, that means a crucifix, a sacrifice is coming. Now, let's look at some of these dates and why they matter. I wasn't going to tell y'all about them. Y'all know that. Y'all saw me. I was like, look, I'm just going to tell you. I don't know what. That's the one thing. Remember in my dream, when I looked up and saw the earth split, like the sky. Remember I told y'all it was the earth, but it was the sky. When I looked up and saw it splitting, it split like a snowflake forms. And I remember thinking, oh, this is the day. I didn't have that on my list. So that's why I said I wasn't going to tell y'all about dates. But still, things keep happening on these dates that God has been showing me. So the next one, that one's gone. The next one, let's look it up. I believe it was February 14th. Did you hear me say February 14th? Now, that wasn't one of my days. That wasn't one of my days. My next one would have been February 26th. But because of what the Bible said, I looked it up. And I had said, what is, I think it was 49 days from the date that it stopped. Came up February 14th. Interesting, right? But then after that, I was like, okay, well, let's go to my next significant date. Hold on, let me open this up and give y'all, get to the website. I had it on my phone. I do better on my phone. But let's go to the next significant date. I'm going to date and time calculator. Date calculator. All right, let's click on it. And what we're going to add is from, what day was that? 1/22. So from 1/22, 2023, and the date that I had in concern was February, wait, count dates. Okay, there we go. Was February 26th. So 2/6 2023. And that comes out to 35 days. 35 days from now. It's exactly 5 weeks. Right? So I'm just put these in your mind, guys, because I'm still studying them too. Right? I just wanted to do it with you. Right? So that way no one can say y'all ain't see it for yourself. Real talk. So let's go back, because there was more that I wanted to know. So that was one of the days. But God said, right? Because we got to go back to that time. I believe it was in Exodus. Let's go to Exodus. I think it was in Exodus 26. No. Let me find it. But this is at the time, or was it might have been Leviticus 26. But it was at the time where he said, you got to count 15 days after that day, right? It was like 15 days, but it was like after the death of Moses. You get what I'm saying? So when you go back and look at it in Deuteronomy, and you go back and look at it in Leviticus, those feast days really did seem, I don't know, ask a scholar, I ain't no scholar, but it seemed like they marked Moses's death. Like they honored Moses's time on earth. That's what it looks like theoretically. Okay. So, what did I put in? Oh, I wanted to know from Moses. No. I wanted to know about that February 14th one. Because I don't remember how many days I put in. Because I remember looking at it going, oh, it was 23 days. But I remember seeing 21 days. Why did I see 21 days? Let's subtract 3 just to find out. What day would be subtracting 3? Would be 210. 10/4, 210, I believe. Let's see. No, that ain't it. So it got to be 212 there, because that was 2 days off. Okay, it was 212. Now I know why. Because the daylight savings time is 312 this year. That's why I know. Okay, so I think that's what it was forward from the 26th. Let's take a look. I'm going back, like, because I didn't write any of this stuff down. I just needed to, I saw you say check March 10th. Okay, I'll check March 10th. I wish y'all could see this too. Let's figure out, see if y'all can see it. Y'all can't see it. I should be sitting at my table upstairs, but y'all can't see it. So let me just stay comfortable and do it. All right. So let me not get confused, right? So we can stay on the path of understanding. Like, we got to figure it out. If we got children, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing we really can do. But if we could spend our last days with our children properly, that'd be a blessing. You get what I'm saying? If me and my kids could be together, I know we could be together, not because ain't nobody worried about running to work or whatever the case may be. If we can get a better understanding, a good enough confirmation so that we'll go against the status quo long enough to enjoy our last days. You get what I'm saying? Because that stronghold of oppression they got on us is real. All right, so we got one. Hey, Jamila, would you find out for me real quick, what day did they release that study? I know I think they released it on the 23rd, but I'm wondering, did it come out on the 23rd or the 22nd? You feel what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. And I could pull up another menu. Let's go look. What day did that study come out? Because that's one thing they do, is make sure that it comes out on the day. Like the media, I ain't gonna even go there with them, but just put it this way, they're the secret hand. There are a whole bunch of families. Wait, what'd you say on that last one? What's the name of the study? Just type in here. I'm gonna type in the day the core stops spin. The Earth's core stops spinning. Look, let's figure this out. Anybody else want to go ahead and jump in? We need to know. We shouldn't be the only ones just sitting around trying to figure it out. We could figure it out together. Or maybe we could figure out together ain't nothing wrong and everything's okay. Oh, wouldn't that be a blessing? Wouldn't that just be the blessing of a lifetime? The Earth's core stop spinning. Yeah, it was. But I wanted to see the date on the report. Because whatever date they released it is going to be the date that you can go from. I noticed that I kind of can trust from their first time they said it to anybody. All right, 23 hours ago seems to be, let's see, what about anything, say 2 days ago? I got 1 day ago. 16 hours, 1 day, 1 day. Do I got a 2 days? The first one that says 2 days ago will be the winner. The rotation of the inner might be reversing. So that was on Yahoo News 2 days ago. Which would have been, they released it on here January 23rd at 11:21. Okay? Praise God. I'm sorry, I love you. I want to be able to read, but here, how about you moderate the chat too? Because I gotta but I can't. I gotta stay focused here. But please moderate that chat, or I don't know what to do to get you to do it where you could like help. I don't add as a moderator. Cool. Look, I'm just doing it without your permission. I see it, though. It says managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live, and also has capabilities of standard moderator. Girl, you know you get the managing moderator. Go for it. I need your help. But I got to stay on task so we can make sure we get there. All right? All right, so it looks like, yeah, it was the 23rd. And that was the one day I told you guys, I think my day of concern was the 22nd and the 23rd. But then I said again, like, I'm not so sure about the 23rd. The 23rd was the day. All right, so we're going to go from the 23rd. 3 to the 226. We're going to go from the 3rd to 226. and see what's the duration there. Okay, so it is exactly 34 days in that case. And that does not match. Oh, wait, yes, it does. I was about to say that doesn't match their numbers, but that's 322. That do kind of match their numbers. I'm not sure. Oh, and it's 1 month and 13 days. I mean, in 3 days. That's number 13 sitting in front of me. I see 2 bad numbers sitting there. Okay, so we'll move on and see from there. Now we need to know from there until the 12th. Not the 14th. I put 14. I need the 12th. 312. Okay. Reason why I put 312 is because daylight savings time starts on the 12th this year. So that's exactly 48 days. But if we include that last date, that's what I saw. If you include the last date, it is 49 days. Ain't that 7 weeks? That's 7 weeks. That's exactly 7 weeks. From now is my next day of concern. Yep, that's 7 weeks and 49 days. Okay, so there's something going on there. What's the next day of concern that we said? No, I don't. Here's what I feel God saying. Read them this. This is from the Merriam Bible. It says, I'm about to read Daniel chapter 9, verse 24, and I'm just going to read, okay? 70 weeks are shortened upon thy people and upon thy holy city, that transgression may be finished and sin may have an end, and iniquity may be abolished, and everlasting justice may be brought, and vision and prophecy may be fulfilled. Ain't this just reading different, y'all? Y'all heard that? Hold up, let's read this again, because y'all do hear this sound pretty good. Okay, let me read this again. And then I'm going to go read that other one. That's reading real different. And remember what I said about this particular Bible. If this Bible, we weren't supposed, that's the reason why. Okay, we weren't supposed to read this one. So if you were in charge of a plan, you would make your version the closest to helping your people understand and survive the plan as much as possible. Whereas mine is going to have to go with interpretation from the Holy Spirit itself. Weeks are shortened. Didn't I tell y'all they stole time? Y'all remember that? When I showed y'all the painting, I miss painting, but the painting where it showed so above, so opposite below. So if you took a certain amount of time from below, you could take it from the top. That's how algebra, like, that's how I'm like, wow, this is algebra, okay? So, 70 weeks are shortened upon thy people and upon thy holy city, that transgression may be finished, right? We reading it slow, so that way we can take them at face value, okay? Where transgression may be finished. That's a good thing, right? And sin may have an end. Okay? That's beautiful. And iniquity may be abolished, and everlasting justice may be brought, and vision may be brought, and vision and prophecy may be fulfilled. That ain't what it say over there. May be fulfilled. That vision and prophecy may be fulfilled. And the saint of saints may be anointed. Know thou therefore, and take notice, that from the going forth of the word to build up Jerusalem again unto Christ the Prince, there shall be, now this time they say unto Christ. The other book didn't say that. Okay, this one say unto Christ though. Okay, so it says to build up Jerusalem again unto Christ the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks with a colon. Okay, what does a colon mean? Let's go find out what a colon means, right? We need to know that because that's giving us some type of connotation, right? I need to know, hold on, let me put this over here. What is a colon, right? Understanding a colon, or how do you put that? Like, what is that? What is a colon? In punctuation, okay, in punctuation. We need to know if they got a colon there, because that everybody gets tripped up, right? Don't everybody get tripped up on 6 weeks and 7 weeks and then 62 weeks. That could trip people up. Come on now, you go. All right. Punctuation. Colon. It didn't want to pull it up for me. We gonna get this colon. Oh, well, we're gonna say understanding. Okay. A colon is a type of punctuation mark. It is not in punctuation like a period, exclamation mark, or question mark. A colon is used within a sentence. Colons look like 2 periods put together, one on top of the other. Okay, that's what I'm expecting, but tell me what it do. How you use it. Come on, we need, don't try to trip us up. I want to take you at face value. I believe what a colon is directly related, but I'm not sure. I want to make sure. Here we go. The colon is used to separate 2 independent clauses when the second explains or illustrates the first. Okay, so 2 clauses when the second explains or illustrates the first. Let's go back to reading that. Let's go back to reading it. So that way now we got that in our mind. Where was it? Hold up. I'm losing it. Okay, here we go. Let me just start from there again. We're going to do it again. 7 weeks are shortened upon thy people and upon thy holy city, that transgression may be finished, and sin may have an end, and iniquity may be abolished, and everlasting justice may be brought, and vision and prophecy may be fulfilled, and the saint of saints may be anointed. Know thou therefore, and take notice. Right? And now I got the colons again. Okay? That from the going forth of the word to build up Jerusalem again until Christ the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. Colon again. Right? Y'all see why I'm trying to find out about this colon? So they got 2 of them in this sentence. Okay? Sentence didn't stop. Okay, they got 2 of them. Yep, the sentence didn't stop. It kept going. And the street shall be built again, and the walls in the straightness of time. In the straightness of times. What does that word? I'm sure it means strained or something, but it says straightness of times. Okay, I want to look that up later. And after 62 weeks, Christ shall be slain, And the people that shall deny him shall not be his. This is interesting. This is different. This is different, y'all. This is different. That other one reads like we reading about the Antichrist or something. So now over here we reading about Christ. We got, let me back this up and let me take a deep breath. And after 62 weeks, Christ shall be slain, and the people that shall deny him shall not be his. And the people that shall deny him shall not be his. In our story of Christ, the people that denied him was his. So this is a different time of Christ. Or is it the time of Christ? Interesting. Interesting. I'm just saying, if we got our own minds, let's go back and read it again. Let me keep going. And after 62 weeks, Christ shall be slain, and the people that shall deny him shall not be his. And a people with their leader that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be waste. And after the end of the war, the appointed, this one says after the end of the war. Very different. After the end of the war, the appointed desolation. And he shall confirm the covenant with many. Wait a minute, he was already slain. They told me he was slain. So wait, whoa, something going wrong with these punctuations then. And after he shall confirm the covenant with many in 1 week, and in the half of the week, the victim and the sacrifice shall fail. The victim and the sacrifice. I know who that is. I just don't know how to tell y'all. Y'all, it'll blow up the story. Like a few of you would change the channel if you found out who the victim and the sacrifice was. I know that because they said that the name of the child came from the grandmother. The girl child came from the grandmother. And I know that word is a derogatory word. Only I know it though. Yeah, it don't look derogatory, but it is. It means I got you. Like I took you. You're mine. You're my conspirator. Like, you know, that word that they named that child that supposedly came from the grandmother. Yeah, no, that means my conspirator. That's my scarlet cord person. That's who that is. So let's go back to that. That's on 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many in 1 week. And in the half of the week, the victim and the sacrifice shall fail. And there shall be in the temple the abomination of desolation. And the desolation shall continue even to the consummation and to the end. If something like that happened, y'all, who got the real finances to come save everybody? Who own everything? Now it makes sense. Because they relationship would match the second of chapter 10. Let's go to chapter 10. Let's see if y'all see it. Let's see if y'all see it with me. And hey, I'm gonna keep reading. Now, mind you, this is not my Bible. This is the Merriam Bible. But do y'all see the difference? No, you're right. I gotta go show y'all the difference. All right. Or hopefully you read along. That's it. Read along with your regular King James Bible. Read along with that Bible. Because the people, why do the people that created the Bible got a different Bible than everybody else? They create these the ones that so-called wrote it, right? So-called, they the ones that so-called decided what was in the canon. So why theirs read so drastically different? That's interesting. Oh, I don't know. I know in mine, I'm going to read chapter 10. But I know in my chapter 10, it becomes obvious who's who. It becomes like we see if it's about not losing rain, who really been raining? You get what I'm saying? Like if it's about not losing rain, who keeping their rain? And then it makes sense because one of them's daddy is a, I'm just going to write this word. You go look up what that means. But put it this way. One of them daddies of the two people that's reigning is that of something else. So, so, I'm just so I'm baffled. Let's keep reading. I want y'all mind to switch to the right government, right? Because y'all, with us being in America, so often we want to think about American government. But from what I just said, switch to the right government while I'm reading this next part. It should describe some of our favorite media characters, okay? In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persians, a word was revealed to Daniel, surnamed Belteshazzar. So Daniel's name was Belteshazzar, okay? Wow. I remember making a joke, like I want a man that will research who Belteshazzar was. And I never knew it was Daniel. It's Daniel, okay? Surnamed, revealed to Daniel, surnamed Belteshazzar. And a true word, a great strength, colon, and he understood the word, colon, for there is need of understanding in the vision, period. In those days, I, Daniel, mourned the days of 3 weeks. That's where the 21 days came from. Daniel mourned for 3 weeks because of this. Now, something jumped out about it back then. I don't know what, but Daniel mourned for 3 days. For 3 weeks. I ate, and 3 weeks from now is Valentine's Day. That's how I found that out. Okay. I ate no desired bread, and neither flesh nor wine entered into my mouth. Neither was I anointed with ointment till the days of 3 weeks were accomplished. 3 weeks, okay? And in the 4th and 24th day, And in the 4 and 20th day. So 420. And in the 4, yeah, that got to be the month, the 4th month, and 20th day of the, oh no, that's wrong. I'm saying it wrong, y'all. That must be the 4th hour. Okay. And in the 4 and 20th day of the 1st month. So that's the 24th day of the 1st month. Literally, is that the day that they just told us the core stopped moving? Is that what I just heard? Okay. I mean, the coincidence is that the date now, when they put all this out there, because we just saw it was the 20 and 3rd day that the earth stopped spinning. So him on, what we got to find out was what was 21 days ago, because whatever he was talking about had something to do with 21 days before that. Hold up. I'm sorry, y'all. My mind just be running. I hope you stay with me. But but you got to look at the words. God is the word. So when you look at the words and take them at face value, like that, you don't read anything, you don't believe if they're lying, you literally just take them as all definitions are present. The things they're doing make so much sense. All right, let me get to the date calculator. What I want to know is what I'm going to count dates. I want 21 days subtracted from the 23rd, right? That's what that should be, subtract. Oh, it won't even let me. Look, the whole thing is froze up where it won't even let me. Like I'm going to try to refresh it, but oh wow, it really won't let me. Okay, I'm getting past that. I just clicked all the way to the corner. All right, now we need 21 days. Subtract 21 days. What day was that? January 1st. Well, January 2nd, but I always try to see what's the most important within there. But it's January 2nd. But that's still January 1st. I'm not even on it. That's January 1st. Especially if it really happened on the 22nd. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going to bring it all together. I'm coming back to the chat. Give me one more second. Let me follow this thought process so I don't lose it. All right. And in the 4 and 20th day of the 1st month, I was by the great river, which is the Tigris. And I lifted up my eyes, and I saw, and behold, a man clothed in linen, and his loins were girded with the finest of gold, and his body was like the chrysolite, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as a burning lamp, and his arms and all downward, even to his feet, like in appearance to glittering brass, and the voice of his word like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men that were with me saw it not. But an exceeding great terror fell upon them, and they fled away and hid themselves. And I, being left alone, saw this great vision. And there remained no strength in me, and the appearance of my countenance was changed in me, and I fainted away and retained no strength. And I heard the voice of his word, and when I heard, I lay in a consternation upon my face, and my face was close to the ground. The angel confronts Daniel. That's what the next title says. And behold, a hand touched me and lifted me up upon my knees and upon the joints of my hands. And he said to me, Daniel, thou man of desires, understand the words that I speak to thee, and stand upright, for I am sent now to thee. And when he had said this word to me, I stood trembling. And he said to me, fear not, Daniel, for I am the first. Wait, whoa. No, I said that wrong. Forgive me, that's not what it said. Let me back up. And he said to me, verse 12, and he said to me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you didst set thy heart to understand, to afflict thyself in the sight of thy God, thy words have been heard, and I am here come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of the Persians resisted me 21 days. 21 days. That's something we're going to have to look into, y'all. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there by the king of the Persians. But I am come to teach thee what things shall befall thy people in the latter days. For as yet the vision is for days. And when he was speaking such words to me, I cast down my countenance to the ground and held my peace. Daniel speaks to the angel. And behold, as it were, the likeness of the Son of Man touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke, and said to him that stood before me, O my Lord, at the sight of thee my joints are loosened, and no strength hath remained in me. And how can the servant of my Lord speak with my Lord? For no strength remaineth in me. Moreover, my breath is stopped. I go through this all the time. I know exactly what it's talking about. Therefore, he that looked like a man touched me again and strengthened me. And he said, fear not, O man of desires. I wonder what the King James says, right? It says, fear not, O man of desires. Peace be to thee. Take courage and be strong. And I said, speak, O my Lord, for thou hast strengthened me. For everybody that's just tuning in, this is the Catholic Marian Bible. The angel speaks and he says, dost thou know wherefore I come to thee? And now I will return to fight against the prince of the Persians. When I went forth, there appeared the prince of the Greeks coming. I know the other Bible don't say none of this. But I will tell thee what is set down in the scripture of truth, and none is my helper in all these things, but Michael your prince. Michael your prince, huh? Interesting. And from the first year, so this is chapter 11, and from the first year of Darius the Mede, I stood. What's a Mede? We got to find that out. What's a Mede? I don't know what a Mede is. I stood up that he might be strengthened and confirmed. And now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand thee 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be enriched exceedingly above them all. And when he shall be grown mighty by his riches, he shall stir up all kingdoms of Greece. But there shall rise up a strong king, and shall rule with great power, and he shall do what he pleases. And when he shall come to his height, his kingdom shall be broken. Remember that kingdom I was talking about, right? But they gave him a daughter. And her daddy is a... That's all I'm trying to say. Okay. But there shall raise up a strong king, and shall rule with great power, and he shall do what he pleases. And when he shall come to his height, his kingdom shall be broken, and he shall be divided towards the four winds of heavens, but not to his posterity, nor according to his power with which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be rent in pieces. Now remember, why y'all here? We're talking about the cataclysm that's coming. This is after the cataclysm. Remember what I told you? There was a really strong king. He already ruling. He's ruling right now. And his girlie is... Why people worry about that girlie? Better yet, why is our girlie named after that girlie? Yeah. Our girlie is named after that girlie. And our girlie ain't our girlie. She know what's going on. She was providing information so that when you look up her name, you won't find the other girlie. It's the truth. We ain't got nothing to lose at this point. It looked like we 49 days away from Noah's flood is what it looked like. If no more than a year and 49 days is what it definitely looked like. So if y'all know I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, so let's keep going. And it shall be divided toward the four winds of the heavens, but not to his posterity. Remember, he was the king of the king, right? Nor according to his power, for which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be rent in pieces. Yeah, all that going on. Flood, cataclysm, yeah. For his kingdom shall be rent to pieces, even for strangers beside these. And the king of the south, that's the one who is that's that one, right? And the king of the south. So he the king of the dirty deeds on earth. And the king of the south shall be strengthened, and one of his princes shall prevail. Did you hear what I just said? One of his princes shall prevail. Okay. Over him, and he shall rule with great power, for his dominion shall be great. And after the end of years, they shall be in league together. Remember I said, y'all get ready for Prince. Get ready. Get ready. He walked too confidently behind that. I saw him. Okay, so they should be in league together. And after the end of the years, they shall be in league together. And the daughter of the king of the south shall come to the king of the north to make friendships. But he shall not obtain the strength of the arm, neither shall her seed stand. Neither shall her seed stand. Let's go back. Y'all, this is unfolding. If you really take a look, this is unfolding in real time over there. Neither shall her seed stand. That's because Diana's seed standing. And she shall be given up, and her young men that brought her, and they that strengthened her in these times. And a plant of the bud of her roots shall stand up. A plant of the bud of her roots. A little bit plant of the bud of her roots. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. And a plant of the bud of her roots shall stand up, and he shall come with an army, and shall enter into the province of the king of the north, and he shall abuse them and shall prevail. And he shall also carry away captive into Egypt their gods. I hear so many things. I want to read this again. And I wish I could tell y'all the key players that I'm hearing in my head right now. Let me write them down. Let me write down the key players that I'm hearing. I ain't got no pen. Of course I wouldn't have a pen. Where'd the pen go? Here we go. Here's a pen. And it says Survivor on it. Praise God. Let me write down the key players that I'm hearing while I'm reading this. I'm hearing him. Yeah, I don't want to put too much. Right? I'm hearing him. Let you figure it out. And her. And her. I think that's how. What's going on over there? And her. Right? So we got King C and Q Cam. Okay? But in the other one, it reads as if it's this person and this person. That's how it reads, because that's the way they're talking about her. The media is. But guess whose family is in charge of that? That's what God told me. I ain't got no proof. So we about to find out who they talking about. Because it really looked like an alliance of some serious powers is coming to look for us after this thing. And my answer is no. Hide thyself until God's indignation has passed. And you ain't coming to me with no ships. You ain't coming to me with nothing. My answer is no. I ain't going. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. And the king of the south. Oh, I ain't tell y'all who that was. Right? Because these were the northerners. These were the northerners. Okay? The south would be... Oh, the pen don't even want to... I'll just say that. That's who the south would be. Now it makes sense why a certain person had to be removed so another and she had to be a front. Right? She had to be a front until they can quietly put the other girlie there. Because can't nobody know the other girlie is who she is. But how I know? Because I saw her brother or whoever he was do some things that only the heart would do if you had something of mine. You get what I'm saying? I saw a brother go, you better not mess with my sister. I saw a brother do that. Her brother. And her brother just so happened to be him. Or her family. I don't know what they are. But I tell you, when you look up the women in his family that's about that age, they look like a... they look just like a... Interesting. Remember, I got my fangirl hat on. I don't know. I'm just a crazy girl on Social Security. I'm just a crazy girl on Social Security. You said too fast to see the words. I'm trying. Look, don't you see a little bit of fear? Just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again for you. Okay? King, this one, and Q Cam. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that we got the duplicate of. We got the duplicate, so you don't be looking up her. You get what I'm saying? They're the northerners. Okay? This book reads as if it's talking about these ones. The other book kind of makes you feel like some generations came into play to where it might be talking about these ones. You get what I'm saying? I hope you with me, right? And this is just speculation. I don't know. I don't know. This is all hyperbole and speculation. I have no clue. But, and it'd be nice if they do come for you, girl, just stop and let me know if I got some stuff right first, okay? Because I don't know, but I believe, y'all see that word, of this is related to her. That's what I believe. I don't know any other way. I don't know if it's true. I might be lying. Okay? But I believe that that is the case. Because I saw someone do something that you won't. Like, my daughter got a brother. I don't got no brother. I've always wanted a brother. Like, I daydream about having a brother that would look at a dude and say, you better not mess with my, you know, I'll knock. That's what that moment looked like when he was doing that to him. It looked like, it looked sweet. Like, now you in the family. You think you somebody, you in the family now, kind of thing, was what it looked like. Okay? But of course they couldn't, if them two were the real alliance, they couldn't put that out there. No, they needed all that other stuff to happen. You get what I'm saying? They needed, oh, she had the most beautiful eyes. Y'all know who I'm talking about, pretty eyes. His mother, I just loved her eyes. Her eyes were so sad, but they made you want to run to her. But now it makes sense. Now that picture of her walking with her and she looking like, makes sense. It makes sense. I gotta say a joke just so I don't feel any fear right now. Man, you gotta give it up to a sister with trying to find out a plot. Like, I feel bad for the one that tried to cheat on me. I gotta tell a joke so I can feel better about what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's go back to it. Because what I'm starting to think is, now let me tell you, first I wasn't sure if she was in on it. I wasn't sure, right? But then I noticed that the date of their wedding. Then I noticed the name of the child. The girl child and the boy child. But the girl child in particular. Here in the South, when in America, during the times of slavery, the ones that really loved their slave, they named her that was the name. Just a little bit. Come on over here a little bit. Just a little bit. And the fact that it didn't come from her is the reason why I'm thinking she might not be in on it. Because if it would have came from her, I would have been like, oh, okay. But they went as far to let us know that she agreed with him to name her child that because it's what the old one was sometimes called. Also, if you with me, haven't you seen an uptick in No, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. But I've seen an uptick in like they keep, it's almost like I'm watching time replay itself. Because guess who else did this? Somebody else did this and they were so in love. They did it too. Exact same as them two. Exact same. Super in love, mixed, like came from Germany. Like, you know, this was a lot. So they did it. Oh, and guess what? They got married on her birthday. Oh, but guess who else I learned about? Remember I told y'all something serious about Cleveland? Go look up Anne of Cleves. She might have been another Ish too. And what I'm finding out that Ish seems to be the one that is I'm writing this down and it looks like I'm one of these people. I'm not. Because that's not I'm regular black, okay? But there's another one there that you can't tell they are. My daddy would have been one. Passable, where you don't know it. But my daddy refused to pass. My daddy loved being black. He loved it, but he looked white. So now we see where the might have came, where the issues, there we go, I can say that word, the issues, kindas, a little bits, might have came from. Yeah, my granddaughter would be, because me, you could tell, you know what I am. But we're saying the ones where you don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying what the origination. I'm not saying for you to be mad or anybody. I'm just saying where they came from. They're probably on that side of being the lightest you could go and still have some. Because it seemed like, remember I told you, it looked like they are like it's the end of a Monopoly game. And they're getting their lands back. They're dividing up their lands. They're seeing who's going to go with who. Like, I feel like we're about to prepare to play another game. I've always said that. Feels like we about to get ready. It's closing time to play another game. All right, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Let's find out where this story goes. But now y'all see who I'm talking about so that you can see your own correlations while I'm reading. Okay, and remember this, they're trying to steal your God off and carry him to Egypt. Just know that at the end of the cataclysm, if you don't know that Bible, powers that be are going to change it up on you. It's going to fit their benefit. All right, here we go. And after the end of years, they shall be in league together. Let me back up. And the king of the south shall be strengthened, and one of his princes shall prevail over him, and he shall rule with great power, for his dominion shall be great. And after the end of the years, they shall be in league together. And the daughter of the king of the south shall come to the king of the north to make friendships, but she shall not obtain the strength of the arm, neither shall her seed stand. And she shall be given up, and her young men that brought her, and they that strengthened her in these times. and a plant of the bud of her root. A plant of the bud of her root. Sounds like a stepchild. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, shall stand up. That's what it sounds like. Because that's a plant of a, so it wasn't her seed, but it was a plant of a bud of her reign, right? That's what it says. And a plant of the bud of her roots shall stand up. And he shall come with an army. Who do we know was in the army? Who we know can command an army. The rest of them seem feeble-minded, but he's strong. Like, we see him on Netflix, you know, hanging with his army buds, you know, and shall enter into the province of the king of the north. So it sounds like he going back home. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. He go back home. He take over home, right? Because they gone. And he shall abuse them and shall prevail. And he shall also carry away captive into Egypt their gods and their graven things. I will say, out of all of them, he the one we like the most. He the cutest. He the one that kicked it with Naomi. Real talk. He the one we like the most. So I could see us, like, you know, not knowing. If we don't know this Bible, I could see us not knowing. Okay. And he shall also carry away captive into Egypt their gods, and their graven things, and their precious vessels of gold and silver. He shall prevail against the king of the north, and the king of the south shall enter into the kingdom. Okay? And shall return to his own land. So it sounds like King of the South gonna go back to his own land. Okay, what would have been his own land? Because we got a lot about him here. Like, there's Cleveland. It would have to be Cleveland. I went to the Ish Museum, and there was whole letters that upon his choosing, certain places within our community became certain places. I got a feeling it's Cleveland. That would make sense, because the girl of Cleve, she from them too. I bet you it's Cleveland. Let's keep going. I bet you it is. This is a heck of a story, right? I'm telling you that this fangirl stuff, but that the king of the South gonna go back to his land. And from what I can see, he all over here. All over. Like, when you go to museums, they actually got a letter from him saying, we've done what you told us to do here in Cleveland at the Ish Museum. I took y'all there. It was a whole letter that said, we did what you said. Okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry. I'm just so like, I wanna whip. I just wanna be like, how dare you? But praise God that it's right here in front of us. If this is the case, these are the only key players that it could be. All right, let's keep going. And he shall carry away captive into Egypt their gods, and their graven things, and their precious vessels of gold and silver, and he shall prevail against the king of the north. And the king of the south shall enter into the kingdom, and shall return to his own land. And his sons shall be provoked, and they shall assemble a multitude of great forces. Remember what I told you guys, said don't look for that cavalry. That cavalry ain't good. Don't it sound like a cavalry? Remember, I ain't read this before. Remember, y'all know I read my grandmama Bible. I didn't read the Marian Bible like this. Okay, so here we go. Oh, so it's more clear though. It's clearer than my grandmama Bible was. And his sons shall be provoked, and they shall assemble a multitude of great forces, And he shall come with haste like a flood, and he shall return to be stirred up, and he shall join battle with his forces. And the king of the south shall be provoked, shall go forth and shall fight against the king of the north, and shall prepare an exceeding great multitude, and a multitude shall be given unto his hand. And he shall take a multitude, and his heart shall be lifted. And he shall cast down many thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall return, and shall prepare a multitude much greater than before. And in the end of times and years, he shall come in haste with a great army and much riches. Yeah, yeah. He would be, like, if all, in the cataclysm all of them was dead, he'd be the one to live. And he would have all their money, and they the richest people in the world. Okay. And in those times, many shall rise up against the king of the south, and the children of the, what's this word mean? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Provocators? What's provocators? Prevocators? Prevocators. And the children of the provocate. I gotta define this word so I know what I'm saying. All right, the children of the prevocate. P-R-E. Let's get this in here. Definition. P-R-E. Oh, I lost it. Oh, there it goes. V-A-R-I. Provocate. Those who were evading. Those who were evading. That's what it is. Those who act in an evasive manner. So the people that was running. Speak or act in an evasive manner. So they were evading. Okay. So let's back up. And in those times, many shall rise up against the king of the south, and the children of the provocators, which is speak or act in an evasive way of thy people, shall lift up themselves to fulfill the vision, and they shall fall. So there were some victims that fell back in Daniel. I mean, this is still in Daniel, but the one before it, right? Because that's what it's saying here. They shall fall. And the king of the north shall come, and shall cast up a mount, and shall take the best fenced cities, and the arms of the south shall not withstand, and his chosen one. So the king of the south would think he was in control if his sister was in control. But if all of that stuff failed, and now the real king of the north is in control, of course he would fight against the king of the south. I get it. The baron. And he shall come upon him and do according to his pleasure. And there shall be none to stand against his face. And he shall stand in the glorious land. Stand in the glorious land. So that would be him standing here. If the king of the south home is here. That's what I think. I think the king of the south home is right here. All that came from here. Yes, it did. Go look it up. That's why they call Cleveland a mistake on the lake. All that stuff came from Cleveland. Railroads, Carnegie, all of them came from right here. When they landed here, they came here. And he shall come upon him. Wait, I already did that. And he shall set his face to come to possess all his kingdom. And he shall make upright conditions with him. And he shall give him a daughter of women to overthrow it. And he shall not stand, neither shall she be for him. Like, so she don't even like him. Wait a minute. So, which one is this? The king of the south or the king of the north? So the king of the north's girlie don't even like him. Right? She ain't for him. She's for... See, that's what I said, where I think... The reason why I think she ain't in on it, but she might be the victim and is because she didn't know about that name. They say that name came from his side of the family. And I told you what that name means. That's the scarlet cord. Go look up what a scarlet cord is. That's something. That means that you turned on somebody. But it's saying here that she ain't for him. So she must be captive or will be. She ain't right now. And there shall stand up in his place one, let me back up. Let me back up to 18. And he shall turn his face to the, no, I got to back up a little bit further. Let's start with 17. And he shall set his face to come to possess all his kingdom. And he shall make upright conditions with him. So it must have been a bad situation, so they done made upright conditions. Got it. And he shall give him a daughter of women to overthrow it. Give him a daughter of women to overthrow it? Now that matches her for real, don't it? I ain't gonna lie, that girl is, it's like she want to be Martin Luther King himself. Like she want to be, like her righteousness, like if you watch their show, like you can see that she means the passion for the people in that manner. But this is a woman. Look, it says it. It says, he shall make upright conditions with him, and he shall give him a daughter of women to overthrow it. And she shall not stand, neither shall she be for him. And he shall turn his face to the islands, and shall take many. And he shall cause the prince of his reproach to cease. I don't understand that. He shall call the prince of his reproach to cease. And his reproach shall be turned upon him. I could see that. I could see that. I could totally see that. And he shall turn his face to the empire of his own land. So that means he turning his face back towards England. And he shall stumble and fall and shall not be found. So he thought that woman was going to help him overthrow it. But she wasn't for him. And there shall stand up in his place one most vile and unworthy. Y'all know who this is. Come on now. And one shall stand up in his place, one most vile and unworthy of kingly honor. That's what it say in this book. That other book don't say this, but I know who that is. And in a few days he shall be destroyed, not in rage nor in battle. And there shall stand up in his place one despised. So after he is gone, somebody else that's despised is going to stand up. And the kingly honor shall not be given him. And he shall come privately and shall obtain the kingdom by fraud. I don't know. Y'all, this sounding, I don't know. And the arms of the fighter shall be overcome before his face, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant. That would be Christ. But they didn't say Christ in this one. So they said, yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after they said it in the one before. So, and after friendships, he will deal deceitfully with him. And he shall go up and shall overcome with a small people. And he shall enter into rich and plentiful cities. And he shall do which his fathers never did, nor his father's father. He shall scatter their spoils and their prey and their riches, and shall forecast devices against the best defenced places, and this until a time. That's a time is 7 years, or 7 days, or 7 of anything. That's a time. And his strength and his heart shall be stirred up against the king of the south with a great army, and the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with many and very strong. I'm guessing it means successors, but what does succor? I've never seen that word before. Let's type that word in. succor. So it ain't like successors. You know what I mean? It's not enough. succor. So assistance. So that is a assistant, somebody giving him aid. So it says, stirred up to battle with many and very strong aid, basically. And they shall not stand, for they shall form designs against him. And they that eat bread with him shall destroy him, and his army shall be overthrown, and many shall fall down slain. Now, how do we know this is about the time in the future and not the time in the past? Because he said the people that were against him were not his people. The time in the past, the people that were against him was his people. I just want to let that be known. Or at least that's what the book said. And the heart of the two kings shall be to do evil, and they shall speak lies at one table, and they shall not prosper, because as yet the end is until another time. And he shall return into his land with much riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant. And he shall succeed and shall return into his own land. At the time appointed, he shall return, and he shall come to the south. But the latter time shall not be like the former. And the galley and the Roman shall come upon him. What's galley? The galley and the Romans. But they got Romans in capital letters, but they got galley in lowercase letters. I don't know. And he shall be struck, and he shall return and shall have indignation against the covenant of the sanctuary, and he shall succeed, and he shall return and shall devise against them that have forsaken the covenant of the sanctuary. And his arm shall stand on his part, and they shall defile the sanctuary of strength, shall take away the continual sacrifice, and they shall place there the abomination unto desolation. And such as deal wickedly against the covenant shall deceitfully dissemble. But the people that know their God shall prevail. You better know this Bible, y'all. Y'all got to know this Bible. And succeed. Finally, the only people that succeed is the ones that know their God. And they that are learned among the people shall teach many. And they shall fall by the sword, and by fire, and by captivity, and by spoils of many days. And when they shall have fallen, they shall be relieved with a small help. And many shall be joined to them deceitfully. And some of the learned shall fall, that they may be tried and may be chosen and made white even to the appointed time, because yet there shall be another time. Y'all, this literally says it. This is Daniel chapter 11 of the Marian Bible. Are y'all, hold on, let me check. I see, are y'all still there? Can you hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. Okay, fire evaded. Praise God. What am I? Okay, so I hope y'all know this is the Marian Bible, the Catholic Bible. This is the Catholicistic Bible. Okay, my grandmother's, the King James Bible, is over here. Okay, but I have this Marian Bible, and God told me, remember we went to Marion, Ohio? Remember we went to Gamaliel, which was the president's tomb? And that's how we got on this whole journey in the first place. So at this point, something I've, like, it reads like this in my grandmother's Bible, because that's when I remember looking at it then going, that looked like them, that looked like them, that looked like them. So it reads the same. Let me keep reading. Let me just keep reading, because y'all got to see who escapes this. Who escapes? His friends. His friends escape. Edom and Moab. Okay? All right, so now we got the learned, those that study. They fail, but it was so that they could be tried, right? And the king shall do according to his will. This is verse 36. Verse 36, okay? Of chapter 10 of Daniel. So this is chapter 10, Daniel chapter 10, verse 30, chapter 11, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me, 11. Chapter 11, verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall be lifted up, shall magnify him against every god. This with a lowercase g. And he shall speak great things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the wrath be accomplished, for the determination is made. And he shall make no account of the God, this is with a capital G now, of his fathers. And he shall follow the lust of women. And he shall not regard any gods, for he shall raise up against all things. But he shall worship the God of I know my Bible says Mammon, okay? But this one says something different. Y'all got to Maozim. Let's find out who he is or she is. That's the name of the God that the other one worships. M-A-O. Maozim. So strength. But remember I showed y'all that in the Jewish place, and then I stopped in the middle of some place in Ohio, and it literally, one said might was right, and the other one said that right was might. So that's what they're talking about. A God of strength. That's deep. That's something to get back to. Okay. So male, I'm not going to say it, but that's the word. With a strange God whom he hath acknowledged. So there's a strange God of strength that he's acknowledged. And he shall increase glory, and shall give them power over many, and shall divide the land gratis. What is gratis? I've seen that, like, I'm thinking like evenly amongst them, but I'm not sure. Gratius. What's gratis? Without charge. So he gonna divide up the land for free without charge. Oh, he gonna divide up the land for free without charge. Praise God. So it ain't about money, it's about strength. With a strange God whom he hath acknowledged, and he shall increase glory, and shall give them power over many. Oh, so they're gonna be giving away land. Interesting. And shall divide the land gratis. That's what it says. And that says gratis says without charge. That's what gratis means, without charge. And at the time prefixed, the king of the south shall fight against him. So king of the south gonna fight against this vile person. No, yeah, him, right? And the king of the north shall come against him like a tempest. So the south king of the south ain't gonna like him, and the king of the north ain't gonna like this vile person. Like a tempest, with chariots and with horsemen and with a great navy. He shall enter into the countries and shall destroy and pass through. He shall enter into the glorious land, and many shall fall. And these only shall be saved out of his hand. Edom and Moab, that's his friends, right? And the principality of the children of Ammon, them Ammonites, those, yep, and what's the principality though? That sounds like that slavery I was trying to tell y'all that's coming. And the principality of the children of Ammon. Why they say principality? We got to look up the word principality. Because remember, our flesh is not, our fight is not against flesh and blood. It's against the principalities of darkness that rule this nation. When you type in principality over here, it says Wells. It says Wells in particular. That's interesting. But it also says a state ruled by a prince, right? But there's more to the principality. There's more to it. They just not giving us all, because I've looked it up before, and it meant rule, dominion. It meant a lot of different other things too. All right, let's finish this off with the children of Ammon. And he shall lay his hands upon the lands, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. And he shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver and all the precious things of Egypt. He shall pass through Libya and Ethiopia, and tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. So from the east and the north shall trouble him. And he shall come with a great multitude to destroy and slay many. Verse 45. And he shall fix his tabernacle. Now, help me with this word. I don't know what this word says either. Apadno. So that's his tabernacle. Let's find out what that tabernacle means. Because it's got a capital letter, so it's definitely the name of something. Wait, where it go? Go through Apadno. Apadno. What is that? It says Appendo X is a star system in no man's sky. No man's sky. I don't know what that is. It's a palace. So it translates to palace. Theodoret takes it to be a place near Jerusalem. Well, I think it might be a place near Cleveland. I'm just being honest. I do. Okay, stay with me, but I don't know. We're going to see. Let's do it, let's take it at face value. And he shall fix his tabernacle apando between the seas, upon a glorious and holy mountain. Now, let me tell y'all something else. Remember I told y'all there was going to be a landmass that comes up in the Pacific? Well, according to that documentary I saw earlier, some landmass named Tamu. Tamu. Like the new thing that, the new, what they call that? Like, it's a app that got good prices. It's like the new Wish. But there's a landmass that's going to come up called that name too. Technically, according to that documentary. Oh. So we're going to go on. Might as well go on to chapter 12. Let's go to chapter 12. I won't read. It's chapter 12 small. Because they got a chapter 13. I'm going to go read that. Because I don't want to, I want to read what's in the, claimed to be in the Bible. So chapter 13, I'm not going to read yet. Okay? I'm going to read it first, talk to God about it, and see if it's relevant. But right now, this is relevant. So, but at that time shall Michael rise up, the great prince, who standeth for the children of thy people. And a time shall come such has never from the time that nations began, even until that time. And at that time shall thy people be saved, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of those that sleep in the dusk of the earth shall awake. Let me let y'all know something. 3 days ago, I had a vision off a Thriller. I had that vision 3 days ago. Okay? It wasn't a dream. I closed my eyes. I hope everyone's okay. I'm going to keep going. I now got moderators in the, I hope everything's okay. Do you need another moderator? Look, Rose, can I make you I see Rose came in. Maybe I can make her a moderator too. I'm just going to do it. We're going to make you a standard moderator. Okay. So now we got more moderators in. So I got Jamila is the management moderator, and I put Rose I just put her in there just in case, as a standard moderator. Praise God. So I'm going to keep going, y'all. Y'all handle the chat. I'm going to just keep on going. Praise God. I love y'all. I don't want to get too far off task because it's interpreting now things. Because they pulled the plug. They did this. And all the key players seem to have the key titles. You get what I'm saying? All the key players seem to got their title. So let's look at it outside of the box. All right. So, and many of those that sleep in the dusk of the earth shall awake, some unto life everlasting, and others unto reproach, to see it always. That's deep. Some of them unto reproach, to see it always, is what it says. But they that are learned shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that instruct many to justice, as stars for all eternity. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal up the book, even to the time appointed. Many shall pass over, and knowledge shall be manifold. And I, Daniel, looked, and behold, as it were, two others stood, one on this side upon the bank of the river, and another on that side, on the other bank of the river. And I said to the man that was clothed in linen, that stood upon the waters of the river. How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man that was clothed in linen, that stayed upon his right hand. But wait. And I heard the man that was clothed in linen, that stood upon the waters of the river, when he had lifted up his right hand and his left hand to heaven, and had swore by him that liveth forever, that it should be unto a time, times, half a time. That's where that 17 years that myself and Jacob Israel is talking about. They say 1,200, whatever. No, a time is 7. A time again is 14. Half of a time is 3. Now you get what I'm saying? Now we at 17. Now I see that, so now you see a time times a half a time. And when the scattered of the band of the holy people shall be accomplished. Wait, when the scattering, did you all hear this? And when the scattering of the band. Remember, the band was that little small group of learned ones, of holy people. So now you scattering them. Okay. So when the scattering of the band of the holy people shall be accomplished, all these things shall be finished. So scattering a band of the holy people is when it's finished. And I heard and understood not. And I said, O my Lord, what shall be after these things? And he said, Go, Daniel, because the words are shut up and sealed until the appointed time. Many shall be chosen and made white, and shall be tried as fire. And the wicked shall deal wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. That's why a lot of people ain't even got ears to hear. So you got to just say it. And hopefully those that can hear it. Shall understand, but the learned shall understand. And from the time when the continual sacrifice shall be taken away. That was, now I want to let y'all know, that was what I thought. I don't know. It might be another one. But the continual sacrifice, that was taken away on my daddy's birthday this year. Was it this year? I know it was my daddy's birthday, June 24th. This year. Yeah, daddy died January 3rd of last year. So it was June 24th of last year that they canceled, thank you, that they canceled the daily sacrifice. Okay. And from the time when the continual sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination unto desolation shall be set up, there shall be 1,290 days. I want to let y'all know, I think I know the time between the daily sacrifice and the abomination that causes desolation. I believe it was about that amount of time. I know my daddy lived in my house exactly 1,290 days before he died. Exactly. That's crazy. That's crazy. But like when I looked it up, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So I want to say this. I'm not so sure about these numbers. God keeps showing me 2,555. That's 7 years. But then let's look that up. Let's look that up. Let's put that out in the thing. And I'm sorry. But the abomination that causes desolation could be one of two things. Because it looks like God pulled this, like God said, I got y'all, I'm about to get y'all. And it seemed like it was like on when the Thailand thing happened. So that was what, December 24th, 2014? No, it was before then. So I'm not sure. Let me look this up. Let me look this up. Stay with me, guys. Go back to the date and time calculator. I know that, let's count these dates. The day that the abomination that causes desolation was put into place, it could be the day, I gotta say it, y'all, the day that marriage was not made whole. It was unholy. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't, because that was his covenant with the land, was the marriage itself. That's what was different about America versus all the other places. So I know that happened on 6/26/2014. So let's put that in, 6/26/2014. And we're going to count those days from there until when the sacrifice, which was 6/24/2022. So that one is 7 years. No, that's exactly 8 years. I had to, you know, how you include that final day. So it is literally 7 years, 11 months, and 30 days. That's exactly 8 years. So it was 8 years between those things to the day, between those two things. So when was the other abomination put into place? That was December 19th. Do y'all remember? When was the first one ever given out? I think it was December 19th. When the lady passed out on TV of 2020, right? That'd be of 2020. And we're going to take it. So that's from then. Let's go from then to the date that Trump was cut off. What's that? Hold on. Let's see. 27/9 was the corona. If that's the one you mean. 27/9 was the corona. 27/9. I don't know what that means. Oh, so the tsunami was in 2004, December 24th, 2004. That's good to know. But what about the Rona being implanted? What date was that? I thought it was 12/19. So 12. Oh, I forgot you're in Geneva, so you write your dates different. 12/26. Are you saying December 26th? Are you saying December 26th? Let's find that out. But I know here is like the 19th. In America, I really believe it was the 19th or the 21st. I think the 21st is the day that the general public, but I think they gave some old man, somebody old got it on the 29th, on the 19th. So let's go from the 19th to what day? Wait, what you say? William Shakespeare took the first. Oh yeah, December 8th. I remember. Let's do from December 8th. William Shakespeare. Come on, let's go with the 8th. All right, so we going to go from the 8th to what now? According to that verse. Let's go back to that verse. So it said from the time the daily sacrifice, wait, let's go back to it. And I heard, understood, and I said, oh Lord, Daniel, shut up the prophecy, and many chosen white. And from the time when the continual sacrifice, so it's taken away. So the date that we need is from that continual sacrifice date. Okay. Let's do the duration on these two. So it came up to 564. Nothing's ringing with me on that one. 18 months, 17 days. 18 months, 17 days. Let's see what the hours and seconds are. It's exactly 80 weeks. That's important to know. Well, it's 80 weeks and 4 days, but that's still 80 weeks. That's important to know. But I want to know. No, let's go by exactly what he said. Let's put that 624 in there first. Let's do the 624. Let's do it exactly at face value the way he said it. You know what I mean? Instead of going back to the other abomination, let's look for another abomination going forward. You get what I'm saying? So if the daily sacrifice was the continual sacrifice was stopped this time, then going forward, hold on, 624, 2022. And we're going to go, now where would we go forward to though? Let's go 1,290 days. Let's do that. Let's see where we're going to end up. Because that's what they say, from there to there. 1,290 days. Even though I don't trust numbers. I never trust numbers in the Bible unless they're written. That takes us to January 4th, 2026. I'm not feeling that. Or there ain't nothing we can do about January 4th, 2026. How about I go from that day, the day that the sacrifice ended, and we go to the day the earth stopped spinning. Let's go to that day. Right? There should be some there. Let's see. The day the earth stopped spinning was 1. We're going to go with 22. 2023. $212 days. 6 months and 30 days. 6 months and 30 days. So that's 7 months, right? 6 months and 30 days is 7 months, right? So that was 7 months. 7 sevens. 7 sevens. Okay, months are a collection of weeks. Oh, wow. Yeah. We got one of those over here, too. But 7 sevens is... So that's literally 7 months. So we're looking at things as weeks. What if it's 7 months later? Because that's exactly 7 months later. 32 weeks. Or 30 weeks and 2 days. All right. You got to forgive me because I see numbers like gematria now ever since I've been studying gematria where the number itself stands. Regardless if it's, say, a day, a week, an hour, I be seeing 6 and 2 and, you know, they stand. Guess what that number is? It's exactly 5,088 hours. That's some symmetry. 5,088 hours, that's some symmetry. Okay, now let's take it to the date that God has been um, telling me about, which was 320. I mean 312. 312. 312. 888. That's 8 months and 16 days. That's 888. So there's some symmetry there, but I still don't know. I still don't know. And I will say this. Let me not get caught up doing that right now, because there's something else that God told me. Because I'm going to find that. I'm going to play with it. But one thing God showed me is that we won't know. I know for sure now I won't know the day. I know that. Because I saw it in a dream. I experienced it. And I know whatever day it was wasn't the day I chose. Okay? But here's what God said we got to talk about. Knowing what has happened, the earth slowed, and then the core started going back. So that means that eventually that molten lava gonna start going backwards, which means once it starts going backwards, it's gonna stand still for a while, and that means there's gonna be some eruptions of some type. Okay, God said, find the rock. Like when you see the fires, like in places they shouldn't be, go for the rock. Like go find the bedrock or go for the rock, because the fire gonna be coming up because of that mantle. He also said the fire comes before the flood. That's important to know. The fire comes before the flood. Okay. What else he said? I said this one. Get oxygen, or altitude sickness oxygen. You know, because if this is the case, we are on the barren sea. You know how the barren sea up and down and every which way. We are on the barren sea if that's the case. The earth itself is going through something, okay? So get oxygen, okay? Somebody want to buy me some oxygen? I ain't got no oxygen. Y'all. It was literally like, get oxygen. How we gonna get oxygen? But I got it off eBay before, and it was just little packets for altitude sickness. Go look that up. Water, make water your #1 concern. Now the 3 days of darkness make more sense, but I got a feeling that it's gonna be. I'm gonna look that up. I got a feeling that it's gonna be more like 30 days, not 3. I just got a feeling. I've always said that. It's just as I've learned. Like, y'all go back and look at my video. Like, it literally, back, you got to go back in the beginning. But I literally I said it with Faithful, like, I really believe it's more like 30. But then over time, I started saying maybe it's 3. But now knowing what I know, I'm going to stay true to my gut and say it's more like 30. Because think about it, if it slowed, something got to get it going that way again. You know what I mean? Like, and I told you what, like that collapsing everything is what will get it going the other way. And I'm figuring that's going to take some time. Y'all, I've been on here for a while. 149 minutes. I'm coming back again. I'm going to learn some more and come back again. This is that time. You know, you can't tell. They shouldn't have told us. They shouldn't have told us that the core of the earth stopped spinning. They should have left it alone. Because like, for all of the young people that paid attention in school, yeah, you just messed my brain up. They messed my brain up with that. So now I got to talk about it with friends or run down the street. Because something got to happen. Something got to happen. They shouldn't have told us. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna take a moment, y'all. I'm gonna go grab me something to eat. If there's anybody that could screenshot those messages, I'll read them and come back with something. Matter of fact, let me do that. Because I won't, oh, that's a lot. I won't be able to see them once the chat goes down until tomorrow. So I'm going to hurry up and screenshot these. But, oh, super important. God told me. It's so hard. Okay. God said, if you would like to give to this ministry, real talk, for all of the hard work. This is what God said. I told y'all, for me, like, share, subscribe, because I'm really close to monetization, and that'll help if I get there. You know what I mean? But like, share, and subscribe. That works for me. But God told me I was blocking your blessings if I don't give you this opportunity. And like he literally said, you have to give them that opportunity. And yes, I do need the help. But I know y'all need the help too. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's hard to even say. Because it's like it's a worth thing with me. You know, I got to learn what I'm worth. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like, I don't know, if I shall perish, I shall perish, right? But this is what God said. He said, make sure that you tell them, because as things grow, people are going to try to scam you guys out of things and out of money and things. And he said, no. He said, if you would like to give to this ministry, the cash app for it is $Faithful Wisdom. The cash app is $Faithful Wisdom. God said he will bless you 2, 3, 4, 5-fold. But he did, and I want y'all to know it's hard for me, but I'm going to do what he said. But I'm going to tell y'all what else. I never say it, because I got 1,269 watch hours. But if you get to 4,000, that's when they will monetize you, and that will save some of my butt when it comes to losing everything. I'm losing the house and the car right now, and everything else. Well, I ain't losing nothing, because they just ain't gonna get paid. I'm a squat my butt right here, and on some I ain't going. But anyway, until I get my land or the household. But anyways, that's what I see as the quickest remedy to the problem that I'm facing, is like, share, and subscribe. The more we watch the whole video, the more, like, put the video on, put it off to the side for your girl. The more we watch the whole video, the more likely I will, you know, the powers that be gonna have to pay me to do this. You eventually, you get what I'm saying? The powers that be is gonna have to, monetization will have to foot God's way. You get what I'm saying? Instead of y'all having to foot God's way. But like I said, I'm grateful for everything that you do. But God said he promises to bless you 20 times fold. All right? Who's Candace Owens? I know Candace Owens. That's, ain't that lady? No, that's Candade Owens. I don't know. But I know who Candace Owens is, but she might be a group of women sent to take it down. I don't know. But that's one thing you can see going on. They literally are using the women to take this thing down. Like, if you watch the news, every time Biden stands up, there's some woman there. Like, it looked like them his controllers or something. I don't know. But I'm going to take some time for myself and go eat. But I will come back as I learn more information. This is going to be a marathon of information until they tell me something. Right? I know we got a nuclear fallout bunker in this leased land. You know, city land is leased land. So in this leased land that they've got us, But what's going to help us from this? And what are they trying to say is going to happen? Because that's another thing. They said, oh, cataclysm ain't going to happen. But well, what is going to happen? So I'm going to go study and find that out too. How are you going to tell us this, but then don't tell us what is going to happen? And I want to see if it's plausible. I want to see if it's plausible. And that's the truth. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. I got to grab me something to eat. I feel dizzy. Talk to you soon. Love you.